Hi, we're going to be working on constructing lines and equilateral triangles. The first one, it says we are going to use a ruler or straight edge to construct a line segment. You are going to copy the existing line segment, follow along with the video, and draw your line segment. So, we're going to need to have our ruler / straight edge and our compass. So, if you draw a line, start with a point, then you're going to need to measure, using your compass, the width of your line. Now that I have the width of my line, I can start from my point, strike an arc, which is a piece of a circle, and now I know where my next point needs to be. And that's going to be my line segment. You always finish off a line with arrows at both ends, and the reason for that is that lines continue in both directions, otherwise it's called a ray. That only goes in one direction. And we're going to move on now. Now we will construct an equilateral triangle using a ruler and a compass. You can also use a protractor as well. I will show you both ways with the following video. The thing that we need to know about an equilateral triangle is it's the same on every side. And since every side is the same, every angle is the same. So, if we think about a triangle is 180 degrees. So, if we divide that up equally between the three angles, we are going to have 60 degrees at each angle. So, to create the equilateral triangle with our compass, we again need to measure this line segment. So we put the point at one end and our pencil at the other. We measure it off, and then from each side of this line segment, we are going to strike our arc. And where they cross shows us where our lines need to come together, where one of our angles is going to be. So we use our straight edge to be precise. Draw a line up to that point. We'll do the same from the other side. We can check this with our protractor by putting the corner or angle at the center point of the protractor, and we're going to look for accuracy. It should be 60 degrees. It's pretty close. I might not be perfect, but nope. I fixed my bottom and it lined it up. Now I go from the other side, line it up, and it's not exact, but it's pretty close. So I will accept that within a couple of degrees for you as well. So with our protractor though, we would have to have the same situation going on where we need 60 degrees. So we have to line up our protractor. So this piece right here has to line up at the edge. Then we need to go and mark 60 degrees from this direction. And we're going to draw a line through that. We don't know where our angle is going to match up. And we're going to go 60 degrees from the other side, being very careful to be precise. We mark our 60 degrees. We draw our line from this side. Until the points come together. And now we have our other angle. So it's equilateral. We have 60 degrees, 60 degrees, and this should also be 60 degrees to round out to 180. And we can check that as well to be sure. And again, it's not perfect, but it's very close. Now, we're humans, so we don't necessarily do everything perfectly. So use an arc to copy a segment. This will allow you to copy a line segment using your compass as your tool. So again, if we want to extend a line or copy a line, we again need to measure it, what our width is. Now, if your compass doesn't hold its place very well, then you need to make sure that you talk to your teacher and get a better compass. Okay, so that's my line segment. So I could extend this line out to here, And now I know how long it is if I want to double it. So we line this up so it's nice and straight, and we can continue our line out to that arc. And lastly, at times we're connecting our equilateral triangles in order to create another shape. Together we will create a parallelogram with two equilateral triangles. Follow along with this video and create yours. So we have our starting point, so we need to measure it with our compass. And we now know the length of our line, and every line has to be equal because it's an equilateral triangle. So I strike my arc. Now I'm ready to draw my first equilateral triangle, but remember we're going to do two in order to make a parallelogram. Okay, we can always put shapes together to create other shapes, which is a great thing about shapes. So now I have this side of the parallelogram, but I need another point to be over here. So that means to create this equilateral triangle, I have to extend lines out this way. So my line should be the same, but I'll double check. That looks good. So I'm going to go from each of these 2 points, strike our arcs, now I can extend my lines out this way and this way, and I have a beautiful parallelogram. Thank you very much. It's your turn to try now, and you have some work to do. Have fun and get busy.